The mole had been working very hard spring cleaning his little home all morning long. First with brooms and dusters, then on a ladder with a brush and a pail of whitewash, until he had dust in his throat and eyes, splashes of whitewash all over his black fur, an aching back and weary arms. But spring was moving in the air above him and in the earth below and around him. It found its way even into his dark, low little house, bringing with it a strange restlessness, a longing for something that Mole could not yet name. At last he flung his brush upon the floor.
Bother!
He looked at the unfinished wall and made up his mind.
Oh, blow! Hang spring cleaning!
Without even waiting to put on his coat, Mole went up to the unfinished wall and began to scrape and scratch with his paws.
Up we go! Up we go!
He scratched and scraped and scrabbled and shoved, working upward through the dark earth until, at last, his snout came out into the sunlight and he found himself rolling in the warm grass of a great meadow.
This is fine! This is better than whitewashing!
The sunshine lay warm upon his fur. Soft breezes cooled his brow. After the quiet, buried home in which he had lived for so long, the singing of the birds felt to his ears almost like a shout. Mole jumped with all 4 feet at once in the joy of being alive and in the delight of spring without its cleaning. He rambled through the meadow, along the hedgerows and beneath the young trees. Everywhere birds were singing, flowers were budding, and fresh leaves were pushing into the light. And instead of hearing a guilty little voice whispering, "Housework," Mole could only think of how pleasant it was to be the one idle creature among so many busy ones. He began to wander for a while until, quite suddenly, he stood at the edge of a river. Mole had never seen a river before. It seemed to him like a sleek, winding animal, chasing and chuckling, catching at roots and stones with a gurgle and leaving them with a laugh. Everything was glint and gleam, rustle and swirl, chatter and bubble. Mole trotted beside the winding river until he grew tired and sat down upon the bank. Still the river babbled on, a procession of stories flowing from the heart of the earth toward the distant and waiting sea. As Mole looked across the river, he noticed a dark hole in the opposite bank, just above the water's edge. Something small and bright twinkled deep inside of it. It vanished. Then it twinkled again. It could not be a star in such an unlikely place, and it was far too bright to be a glowworm. Then it winked at him. Slowly, a small face seemed to grow around it, like a frame forming around a picture. A brown little face with whiskers, small, neat ears, and thick, silky hair. It was the water rat. For a moment, the two animals regarded one another.
Hello, Mole.
Hello, Rat.
Would you like to come over?
It's all very well to say that, but how am I supposed to get over there?
Rat disappeared from the opening. A moment later, Mole saw him step into a little boat that had been hidden beneath the bank. It was painted blue outside, and it was exactly the right size for two animals. Rat rowed smartly across and brought the boat alongside the bank.
Lean on my paw. That's a good fellow. Step carefully.
Oh,
There you go.
Rat began rowing them across the river.
this has been a wonderful day. Do you know, I have never been in a boat before in all my life.
What? Never been in a boat? My young friend, there is nothing, absolutely nothing half so much worth doing as simply messing about in boats. Simply messing about in boats.
Look out, Rat!
The boat struck the bank. Rat fell backward into the bottom of the boat with his feet in the air.
As I was saying, in them or out of them, it hardly matters. Whether you reach your destination or arrive somewhere else, or never arrive anywhere at all.
Are you hurt?
Not in the least. Look here, have you anything else to do today? We could go down the river and make a picnic of it.
That sounds marvelous. Let us start at once.
So Rat tied the boat to his landing place and climbed into his riverside home. After a short while, he returned carrying a big wicker luncheon basket.
What is inside it?
Cold tongue, cold ham, cold beef, pickled salad, French roll, spotted meat, ginger ale, lemonade, soda water.
Stop, it's too much.
Only what I take on these little excursions.
Soon they were moving down the river. Mole leaned back, amazed at the sparkle, ripples, the scents, the sounds, and the sunlight. He let one paw hang in the water and dreamed long, waking dreams. Rat rode steadily and did not disturb him. After a while, Mole pulled himself together.
So this is a river,
The river.
and you live beside it.
Beside it, and with it, and on it, and in it. It is my world, and I do not want any other.
Never?
Never. Every season brings something different. Floods in winter, warm banks in summer, muddy channels when the water runs low, reeds and water birds, night fishing with otter, walks with badger. There is always something happening.
But is it not lonely sometimes? Just you and the river?
Lonely. The banks are far too crowded nowadays that a fellow can hardly attend to his own affairs. Otters, kingfishers, moorhens, everyone wants a word with you.
What lies over there, beyond the meadows, those dark trees?
That is the wild wood. We riverbankers don't go there very often.
Why? Are the animals there not very nice?
The squirrels are all right. Some of the rabbits are respectable, and Badger lives in the very heart of it.
Badger?
Dear old Badger. He would not live anywhere else if you paid him. Nobody interferes with him.
Why should anyone interfere with him?
Well, there are others in the wood. Weasels, stoats, foxes. They are civil enough most days, but you can't really trust them.
And what lies beyond the wild wood?
The wide world. I'm never going there, and neither are you, if you have any sense. Now, here is a perfect spot.
Rat brought the boat to the bank, and Mole began to unpack the basket himself. He spread the cloth, opened the parcels, arranged the dishes, and greeted every fresh discovery with another gasp of delight.
Now then, old fellow, pitch in.
Mole was very glad to obey. He had begun his spring cleaning at a very early hour today and had not paused for a bite of anything. That morning already seemed many days ago. When the worst of their hunger had passed, Mole noticed a line of bubbles moving across the water.
Rat, what are those bubbles?
Bubbles? Oh-ho!
Greedy beggars!
Goodness,
What's this? Why did you not invite me, Ratty?
This was an unplanned trip. Otter, allow me to introduce my friend, Mr. Mole.
Proud to know you.
and I am very pleased to know you.
All the world seems to be out upon the river today. I came up this backwater looking for peace, and found you two eating enough for 6.
Please, have something.
Naturally.
Who else is out?
Toad, for one. He has a brand new racing boat, new clothes, new oars, everything brand new.
Of course he has.
Who is Toad?
A very good fellow,
The best of fellows,
but there is no stability in him.
especially in a boat.
Once it was sailing. Then he became tired of sailing and took to punting. Last year it was houseboats. He announced that he would spend the rest of his life in one.
Until he decided he had spent quite enough of his life in one.
Just then, a boat flashed into view. The rower, a short, stout frog, was splashing badly and rolling a good deal, clearly working his hardest to not tumble into the water.
Hello, you fellows! Make way there!
Hello, Toad!
Can't stop! Training!
He will be in the water before he reaches the bend.
Almost certainly, if he keeps on like that.
Should someone warn him?
Someone always does.
And Toad always explains why the advice does not apply to him. Did I ever tell you that story about Toad and the lock keeper? It happened this way. Toad had locked himself out of his mansion yet again, and
At that moment, a mayfly swerved unsteadily around the trio before hovering over the surface of the river. A swirl of water and a cloop, and the mayfly was visible no more. Neither was the otter. But again, there was a streak of bubbles on the surface of the river.
Well, I suppose we ought to be moving along too.
Mole was full of lunch, pride, and satisfaction as he helped Rat clean up from the picnic and put everything back in the basket. He had become quite at home in a boat, or so he believed. Rat rowed gently, murmuring bits of poetry to himself as if they were song lyrics. Mole watched the oars rise and fall.
Ratty, do you think that I might take a turn with the oars?
My dear fellow, I rather think not.
I think I'd be rather good at it, you know, being a rather practical fellow. I'm very quick on the uptake. I mean, it can't be as difficult as all of that. Learn a thing by doing a thing, my great-aunt Gertrude always used to say.
Now see here. First you must learn the theory and have a few lessons.
Oh, hang the beastly theory. I want to go.
Suddenly, Mole sprang up and seized the oars.
Mole, stop it.
I want to go.
Sit down.
Let go, I say.
No, sit,
Let
or you'll
me
have us over.
them. I
You'll
only
tip
need
us.
to...
Their scuffle caused the boat to rock and sway until suddenly, Mole's feet flew upward as he fell against Rat. The next moment, the boat overturned and they were both in the water. It was shockingly cold and rushed into Mole's ears as he sank beneath the surface. Sunlight shimmered somewhere above him, but he could not tell where the water ended and the sky began. Then a firm paw caught him by the collar. The next thing Mole clearly understood, he was sitting in a deep armchair beside a small, bright fire in Rat's parlor, wrapped in a warm robe. His damp clothes hung nearby to dry. Rat sat opposite of him with a cup in his paws. For some time, Mole said nothing.
Oh, Ratty, I hardly know what to say.
There's absolutely no need.
Oh, but there is. When I think about how I might have lost your beautiful picnic basket, I'm so sorry. You've been so good and generous, and I've been so stubborn and ungrateful. Can you forgive me?
My dear chap, what is a little wet to a water rat? Do not think any more about it.
You truly forgive me?
Already done. Water under the bridge, old fellow. Ha, I say, that's quite funny.
I suppose it is.
Look here, you had better stay here with me for a little while. Teach you to row and swim, gain some, experience on the river.
And so it was agreed. Straight away, the contrite Mole was eager to learn from his wise new friend, not only about the perils and dangers of the river, like its weirs and sudden floods, but also about its joy, night fishing with Otter, excursions far afield with Badger, leaping fish, and so much more, until the growing tiredness of the day finally overcame him, and it was time to lay his happy head on a pillow, knowing that his other new friend, the river, was lapping close to his window. And as summer ripened, and he mastered the skills and learned the delights of running water, he caught something of what the wind was whispering so constantly in the reeds. Thanks for stopping by Mesa's place. I hope you enjoyed the riverbank. Join us next time as Mole's adventures along the river continue. Until then, stay curious, be kind, and always leave a little room for wonder.